My friends, hope you had a wonderful weekend and your Sunday's going great. I wanted to jump on here and make my usual weekly update for AMC, ticker symbol AMC stock. You guys know the deal if you follow me or have been following me for a while. As always, nothing I say is financial advice. Financial advice. It's for education and entertainment purposes only. I want you to trade your plan. At the end of the day, you are the one stuck with your portfolio. So you need to do what is best for you. If you haven't already, please follow me on Twitter, Colin_Gladman. Easiest way to ask me questions and get my thoughts on, not just AMC, but other stocks. Or if you have questions on other stocks, please feel free to ask. But AMC is always going to be the main girl. We just do a little side chicks every now and then. First things first, let's look at the option chain. So this week is a monthly options expiration date. And so these are going to be the ones that can get a little bit more loaded because they're people who have bought them out several months, even years in advance. So if we're looking at calls for this week, overall, we got a bunch at 20. Obviously, we are far away off from 20. And then kind of your usual even dollar amounts. We got 6,000 at 19. We've got 5,300 at 17. What was 1856? So, this is usually, shows a lot of retail in these areas. Puts wise, guys, we have, as of right now, at $15, there's 19,484 puts in the money. There's 14,566 at 16. So as of right now, there's definitely way more puts than calls in the money, and there's 15,000 at the $10 strike price. And so I think overall, looking at it, it kind of looks like, wow, 85,000 at the 95 strike. Good job. Yeah, there's definitely way more puts in the money. But overall, the market, as of right now, the futures are opening super green. If it can stay that way, obviously I think that'll help AMC if the futures stay nice and green. So what I'm looking at from a technical standpoint, we'll kind of walk through this. And so I'll explain everything. I know it can look confusing right off the bat. So right here, we have our big downtrend that has been going on ever since November the 16th. We came down here. If we zoom in a little bit closer, you'll be able to see we had that doji candle, the dragonfly doji, which led to our breakout. Then we came down and retested, but then we had a weak reaction, and then we broke back in, and now we came down here and we're at our 1440, 1450 area. Okay, so if we do not break out of this downtrend again and start heading back up into our support, which is going to be around that $16 range, our downtrend level is going to be right at about 1550 or so, then the most likely scenario is we're going to get pushed down. Once again, I made a video that said, I think the title of it was like AMC, $20 or $10, what's more likely? And I said at the time that $20 was way more likely, and we actually had a run where we ran all the way up to $21, but now it looks like we're gonna, get pushed back down to the $10 range. What I'm using over here is the volume by price, or what's called the visible range, and I added a whole bunch of extra rows in it. So what it does is it shows the volume that has been traded ever since your last candle on the far left side of your screen up until your last candle up on your far right side of the screen. And so, as you can see last time, once we hit these big volume shelves right here, that's when we had good reactions and pushed back up towards the upside. Now, I think we got to wait and see what happens here. Are we going to get that other push up? If not, you can see that we do have this big old, let me get my, so we have this big old air pocket, if you will, that if we do get pushed through, we'll probably trade in that for a little bit. Right now, once again, I always use this one because this is essentially when retail really got involved in AMC. It's whenever I first got involved. So this is kind of where did retail do a lot of buying and selling. So as you can see, our point of control, which is going to be the highest volume that's traded at any given time, is at about $10.08. And that's why I always made the case that if we got pushed down, I think $10 would be our floor. It's our biggest floor based off of volume. Obviously, anything can happen. But leading up to that massive June run, you can see back here, this is predominantly where it was traded, where a lot of retail bought in. So it would make sense that they might come back and even try to test that. If not, I would be looking for right around this $9 range, kind of right at our bottoms. I take the buy button collapse a little bit with a grain of salt. When essentially AMC was trading normal, it was holding kind of this $8 to $9 range very well. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be looking for as far as the volume goes, what our downtrends are looking like. Once again, this you can see. Once we broke this support, we came back up, tried to get back into it, but got rejected off. And so we might come back up and try to test again. If we do, then we definitely want to see it break back up in. If we see a break back up in, we want that to be with volume as always. One other thing is, like I've done a couple times before, if you were looking at AMC from an inverted standpoint, this would be we almost had the double top here. This could potentially be another double top where it gets pushed down. Once again, if you were looking at this move as this stock moving, almost parabolic in a upward fashion, you'd be looking at this as like, dude, this volume is super weak on this move. So that means this move is super fake. So to an extent, this massive push down here, I don't want to say it's fake, it's reality, but at the same time, this is not, in my opinion, due to massive institutions and definitely not due to massive retail selling. Have some of them sold? Of course, some of them have sold, but not everybody. If we're looking at this from our fib standpoint, the one that I've always talked about a ton is going to be from our buy button collapse, which provided our support for a long time. We've already had one massive bounce right here, right in the golden pocket area. And so looking for a turnaround here in between that, 1478 to 1361 range. That's going to be, hold on, let me get that a little bit more perfect. Sorry, like I said, I'm always anal about that stuff. So you can see, guys, if I scroll in here, you can see how it's just almost perfect touch points in here. So I know AMC is heavily manipulated. Yes, I believe AMC is heavily manipulated, but I also believe all stocks are heavily manipulated. And so that's why I think TA works on all stocks, okay? If not, our next big level from where retail got involved from the all-time low, the 0.5 is going to be right around that $11.81 range. So there are lots of areas that we could find support-wise. Once again, I know the dropping in stock price is never fun, but at the end of the day, like I tweeted out, you have to ask yourself, has anything drastically changed that would create an 80% drop in this stock's price? And yes, I know that there's things you could say that AMC from a fundamental standpoint was drastically overvalued at $70, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that. I've always said I thought AMC was pretty much about a $30 to $40 fundamental stock all day long. So that would mean, yeah, at $70, I would believe it's overvalued, even though I believe this is a technical play and not a fundamental play. But, we got a lot of good movies coming out. AMC earnings have only gotten better and better and better every single quarter. Now, I do think the upcoming quarter one is going to be lagging a little bit because we didn't have, Spider-Man and a bunch of big movies. But, I mean, the movie slate is loaded. So, at the end of the day, just got to be patient, man. I know that's not what anybody wants to hear, and it's not what anybody wants to be. Everybody wants to get rich quick overnight. So, but you got to be patient. And, it's like Warren Buffett's, famous saying that the stock market is designed to transfer money from impatient hands to patient hands. And so just relax. as I always say, you either believe in the play or you don't. You either believe in AMC if you don't, and if you don't, that's fine. You should sell. You should get out. Me personally, I still believe in Adam Aaron. I still believe in AMC. I believe in retail, and I believe that more and more flashlights are getting shined on the cockroaches every single day, if you will. So it's becoming more and more mainstream. So overall, guys, if the stock market rebounds, I would be looking for a push, somewhere back up into that 16 to 17, on a really good time, up to 18, dollar range right in there. An absolutely phenomenal week would be, pushing up towards the top of this resistance line around that $22 mark. But as of right now, I would be surprised to see any big movements to the upside, or honestly any major moves to the downside as far as the option chain goes. Max Payne, hold on one second. Well, I don't have my phone on me. No, I do have my phone on me. I want to check and see what Max Payne is real quick. I do not know. So Max Payne for this week. Oh, dadgum freaking. Just load. No. Wow. So Max Payne this week is $20. So if the market rebounds, there's talks. This is the Fed meeting this week, guys. So we got to pay attention to what's going to be going on interest rate wise. But if they pause interest rates due to the conflict and inflation and things of that nature, and the overall market is going to rally if that happens, I'm quite positive of that. But if we rally, anything's possible. With volume, anything's possible. I always say that. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. My ultimate downside targets, would be worst case scenario getting down here into like this $12 to $11 range, so like another $2 drop. And then my best case scenario upside targets are going to be, I think, probably in that 17 to 18 range. Once again, I kind of drew this where I thought we would come down, ribbon underneath, start to make our way back up, probably get rejected, come back down, test, break out, come back. So it's just, I think it's just going to take time, okay? But time is what I have. I hope you feel the same way. Have a wonderful weekend, or the rest of your weekend, and I will see you on the Twitterverse come Monday. Y'all be good.